Welcome to the Rocket Lecture Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 150. I am your host, Supreme King. Join with me, as always, is my co-host, and his name is...
It's your guy Omazes.
How's it going? How's everything going?
Man, I'm chilling. Cannot complain. How you doing?
I'm doing cool. Happy Labor Day to everyone. I think that's, well, as of this recording, that will be tomorrow. But I'm sure a bulk of the people will get some time to relax, play some games, play some demos from this little game show that we, just took a look at. So one of the first things on the agenda is to actually go over the game show. And the demo on the screen was actually the first game that I wrote down, which was Cosmic Race. That had a demo, obviously. And there's a lot of demos from this game show. The game show, I believe, is called Mix Fall Game Show 2025. And honestly, like I was subscribed to all the different channels that do the game shows that get recognized, but I didn't know this was happening. But I'm okay with it because it's like, okay, it's starting to spread out. It's like, okay, we could have one, once a month or whatever. There was a whole lot of them last week, but still, it was a cool little game show, really focusing on indie games. The game on the screen was another indie-ish racer. This is in its pre-alpha state, though, so they got a lot to work on, but it's pretty fun for what it is. In this part, it was just the tutorial, so I was just moving around. But the showcase itself, before we get into it, I do want to mention a shout out to Justin and Candace Woodward. These were the hosts. They're a married couple. But Justin especially is someone who puts in the work on a lot of these shows. For the last few years, I've seen him pop up in so many different ones. And I don't think he gets any recognition, nowhere near like somebody like Jeff Keighley or something, right? But the dude has been in a lot of shows, just putting in work over the last few years. And I want to just give him his flowers. He probably never hear this, but still give him his flowers. And he has his wife on there with him sometimes, and they do their thing. A lot of the other shows, the bigger shows, sometimes they'll just go get a voice actor of a male and a female voice actor, and they just do their thing or whatever, which is fine. But just when you're talking about consistency, these two show up, and Justin shows up on a lot of them, right? Whether you like the shows or not, like some of the ones that had like a bunch of politics in it, he still shows up. I just wanted to give him his flowers. One other thing they mention somewhere in this is they're going to have an award show in 2026 that they call the Diggy Award Show, and that stands for Dope Indie Game of the Year, I believe, which is dope. So just keep a lookout for that. I would like to go over that. It's not all about Jeff Keighley, right? But yeah, the first game that I wrote down was the Cosmic Race, the Cosmic Racer, I believe. As you can see, it's just a straightforward title. I'm really into the racers. I talk about how I play a bunch of racers as it is, so I don't mind having another arcade racer to add to the collection whenever this is available. But this is the demo. It is pretty bare bones. I'm still just running around in the tutorial, but you can actually play a race, and you'll see that in a second. One thing I do want to mention, because you know how like a lot of these demos, or not demos, but a lot of these racers like to mimic, the ability to shoot at your opponent or whatever while you're driving. This particular game had one particular move that I think was the most deadly and unique move in pretty much all racers, even more than the blue shell, because it had a move called swap places. and
Hey.
you basically will swap out and like move up in like the race, and that person that's up will move all the way back in the race. Um, which I've never seen before, and I just thought, yo, that's a crazy move. Because somewhere in this game I was like towards the end, and then it moved me to number two, and it took that number two person and moved them all the way back. And I know, like, if he was in a real race, heated race, that would be, you would be pissed. You just grab that item, and then that's what you do. So I thought that was very unique, as far as this is concerned. But yeah, the overall show is a mixed fall game showcase. And did you have a game that you may have wrote down or wish list before this game came up?
Yeah, Silly Polly Beast.
Okay.
So you was like some girl. She has a skateboard and she's fighting monsters. It's
Okay.
like the whole process. You're like riding on your skateboard, you're running around, and it showed like a mix of like her shooting a gun and then using the skateboard like a bat to hit the monsters and everything. So that one looked pretty good. I think that was the first game they showed, like
The
when the
very
show
first
started.
one.
Hmm.
I think this show, I should mention, I think it was like an hour and 20 minutes, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken. Something like that. So I'm okay with the shows being a good hour. Just a straight hour, 60 minutes. Once you start going over it, it's like, okay, you probably could save some of this for the next one. Maybe. I think a solid hour showcase once a month is ideal. Um, but obviously, we just have shows that pop up whenever, news pop up whenever. Um, but yeah, what was the next game you probably wrote down?
So after Silly Polly Beast, it was the Cosmic Race
Okay.
game, and I didn't have anything else until Godbreakers.
Okay, I have a few more, but I do want to mention I do want to start getting more demos on the show. Didn't I say that a while back and just didn't do it? This
Oh,
didn't take
probably.
long to do though. You know,
Yeah.
it didn't take
Um.
long for me to do, so I kind of want to start getting the habit of doing at least one.
Well, that's the case. I got two more that you can display next week.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you because we kind of ran out of time, but I was expecting
All
you
right,
to upload the other one.
I have
Cause
three more that you can display next week. I didn't know you wanted me to upload anything.
I thought you said that you did. When I looked, I didn't see it. But the game I was referring to for the people out there while we like talking behind the scenes live, Shinobi, I believe. Is that what
Yeah.
it's called? Yeah, that's like the
Will be
hot.
Art of Vengeance.
Yeah, that's the hot
Yeah.
like
Well, I'm
samurai game right now, right?
it'll be ready for next week because I just didn't
Okay.
upload it. I have it sitting here. Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I also tried out that game Dispatch. That I'm
Okay.
like, that's actually gonna be like a day one buy for me.
Okay.
That one's great. I'll talk about it next week. And then I don't know if you we mentioned the game last week from all the shows. It was a game called Is This Seat Taken? Where it's just kind of like it's a cozy game, but like
I think I
there's different
remember.
little blobs or like shapes and like they all have very specifics like I want to sit by this person and I want to sit by a window and you have to try and organize where they all sit and make sure everybody's like happy, so I was able to play that one as well. So I got those three, so they'll be
Okay.
uploaded.
I think it'll be a healthy mix if like I do one demo a month, you do one demo a month. Because
Yeah,
if we do more, we'll probably run out of games fast. But
sure.
like, there's so many demos on Steam from so many reward shows. Usually, when I add a game on the wish list and it has a demo, I'll claim the demo. But I don't never download them. But they'll sit there, and I think Steam allows you to like filter through to just see your demos only. And
Yep.
I know it's a ton of them. And I was
So
able to
mine
download them quick and then just record. But
mine's the reverse. I download them and then throw them in a folder of demos
uh huh.
to try out, and they just like sit in the folder. So like I have 32 demos downloaded.
Yeah, I'm a cause what I want to do is have we're talking behind the scenes on the air, but that's cool though. You know what I'm saying? I do want to have like a demo day and then a day where I go back in time to something that's like through emulation or something like something that's like either GameCube, PS2, or all the way back to like Game Boy Advance or something like that. Because we talk about some of that stuff, but don't really showcase it as much as I would want. Even though recently I've showcased things like the Godzilla game and I forgot what. Oh, the Hulk, obviously, the Hulk. But I don't have Hulk footage today, unfortunately. But yeah, just to have some variety in there. Um, everybody, you ever notice like everybody, like no shade, but like all the other channels out there who do podcasts or whatever, they only focus on the latest AAA title
Of
but
course.
don't really do variety. Like you don't. It's like you don't see nothing else. And like I know right now, one of the talks of the town is the Metal Gear game. We'll probably get to that in a second. But it's like you don't see nothing else though, you know. And I feel like
Hmm.
something like this, a cool looking little racer. Like you know, is somebody out there could showcase some of this stuff. So maybe that'll be
Well,
me.
yeah.
Maybe we can try to do that. All right, let's get back on task. I did actually put down another game that was called Echo Defy Death.
Okay.
If you remember, it was like a samurai game where you play a samurai that's like you don't really see the details of the person. It's like your character is like in all white, and then the enemies are like all red characters, and it's like completely like painted over. Like there's no detail whatsoever. So it's almost like a Tron kind of thing where it's just you focus on the color, and so you got to beat everybody that's in the red. 2D, you know, slasher. It's more of a
Hmm.
samurai type slasher. But I wrote that down. There was one game in there. I don't know if you had paid attention to, but I could not find it on Steam. It was called, I think it's called Hero Right. Or I don't know, but like the O was like a symbol on the screen, and I
Hmm.
couldn't tell if it was a O or a A. And it's like a ninja 3D platformer with a little bit of like some fighting in there. And it does look like it's a little bit like double A or whatever, but it was hard to find because it you couldn't see the O, or it was a symbol. It was
Hmm.
like HE, and then maybe it's a O, maybe it's a A, and then RITE. And no matter how I tried to search it in Steam, I couldn't search it to wish list. And not only that, like that was part of my complaint too. Some of these games, when they were showing them off, they flashed their title like really fast and just kept going. And I think that
Oh
like
yeah.
defeats the purpose a little bit. Like you kind of want to have the name in the corner a little bit longer, give people enough time to actually, you know, like search it and stuff while they're looking at all the footage. But you know, if without that, you don't know what you got, right? Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I do want to mention. So the next game that's actually on my list, perfect timing, is actually on the screen. Um, this was called Starfire Eternal Cycle. It's kind of like a 2D, you know, beat 'em up in a way. And you kind of like you got like the ability to kind of like do some quick zip zap like movement or whatever. And then you're like striking the people as you can see. It's a fun little title. It does need a little bit of tweaking. Because one thing is you, as you can see, there's a lot of pop-ups. You hit new levels or whatever, or get new like unlockables like really fast in this demo. And it'll be something that just like hovers over the actual character on screen, where it's like press this button and then you press it and it's like, oh, just upgrade this real quick. And I think it's just a little too much. I think they need to tweak that a little bit, because really you just want to focus on the fighting or whatever. But it'll get distracting. For me, it was a distraction. Where it's like press this button, and I'm like, what do you want me to press? And then it's like, okay, here's this like two or three things you can like choose between to like grab a upgrade or whatever. um, but it's a fun little title. It's a fun little title. It comes out on September 8th, 2025, so it's really right around the corner if you want it. But the demo is out there. I suggest definitely trying out the demo. It feels like the type of game where I would just put it on for a few minutes at a time or a few levels at a time, to clear the stage and then get to the game that I want to play. One of those warm ups. I wouldn't call this one a cool down. This is more of a warm up, right? Um, but yeah, I wrote that one down. I think it was like somewhere in the middle of the show. And did you say you had one more? Just one
Yeah,
more?
Godbreaker.
Godbreaker, tell us about it.
Yeah, so that one looked like a co-op game where you kind of look like one of those Warframe characters, and you got like a big weapon, and you're just going around fighting like bigger enemies. So that one looked kind of cool. It didn't look as double A as some of the other ones, right? It looked a little more polished to a degree. And that one also had a demo,
Hmm.
so I'll be trying that out.
Another game that showed up that I liked, I believe, was at the Gamescom event as well. I just wanted to make mention to it again. I believe it was Cantanaut,
Okay.
Katanaut. This is an action roguelike. It also has a demo. I didn't try that one though. I only did two. I just there's only so many demos you can grab like earlier today before you like get started. So yes, I did all this earlier today. But yeah, that comes out September 10th, 2025. So what's cool is at least with this show is like they had some games that were like ready to come out right away. So it's not a really long time where you have to wait for them or whatever. I really, really appreciate that with the indie scene. You ever notice like AAA games is like here's this like teaser trailer and then we'll see you in 3-4 years, right? Well,
Yeah,
like with the indie
maybe.
scene, it's like well, it's maybe in like 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. You know, there's a lot of that, and I really do appreciate that. But yeah, and I think the last game that I put down was the last one from the show itself, I believe. I think it was called Fallen Fate. It has like 16-bit graphics. It looks very similar, or it looks like it plays very similar to like Hades.
Okay.
If you're into that type of game, this is for you, Fallen Fate. Yeah, and I believe that was most of the show really for me.
There's one I'm surprised you didn't mention.
Which one?
Unless I zoned out. Did you mention Slain 2?
I didn't, and I'll tell you why. It looked a little too similar to some of the other ones that I've already like wish list and stuff.
Okay.
It's not that I don't want to try it. I actually made the note to go and research the first one and see like if it's on sale and if I like the first one.
I don't know
And
why I
then
thought
come
you
back
played.
to it. Hmm.
I wonder what game I'm thinking of then. I thought you played the first one. Must have been something
Mm-mm.
else.
I didn't play
Hmm.
Slain. No, but I mean, Slain it looks like a lot of the
Oh, you
Metrovania.
know what? Is there a game that has like the word like hell in the title that looks like that? The 2D Metroid?
Probably. There's a few of them.
Okay. That might be what I'm
Um,
thinking of instead of Slain.
One of the more popular ones, I think I forgot. I can't remember his name now. It started with a B. Blasphemous, I think. Blasphemous 1 and Blasphemous 2, if I'm not mistaken. Um, those are like the more popular Metrovania ones right now. Um, yeah, I will say I don't have footage of this and I actually chose to not do footage on the channel. It's a game called Tiny Thor that
Oh
I'm
yeah.
playing right now. I do recommend it. It is a 2D like like platformer, and you have the hammer. The hammer is your main point of combat, obviously, right? And you play Thor when he was like an 8 year old. He gets the hammer for his birthday, and then he just kind of goes on an adventure. Really wholesome. But I will say the game mentions that it's difficult in the very beginning. It'll say like Tiny Thor is a difficult game. But it does have its challenge. I will say that. And it's fun. But the reason why I chose not to do footage for it is because I actually wanted to play it from start to finish in handheld mode. With the Rogue Ally, because I haven't
Okay.
used the Rogue Ally in a while, and if I was to do footage, I would have to like not do that and just do it like straight up on the computer, right? And the thing about Tiny Thor that's really cool is a lot of their levels are like 15 to 20 minutes at a time, and it's perfect to just come home, get off work, sit down and then pull out a handheld and then play it 20, 30 minutes or whatever, and then do whatever else you need to do, that night, basically. Um, but if I do it the other way, it's like, well, no, I gotta go fire up the computer. I gotta stay in this corner over here and like actually record the footage. And it's like it becomes more work at that moment. You know what I mean? Like what I did this morning to get demos is like, okay, that was work, but it didn't feel like that much work because it was like it's a quick demo and we were about to get started anyway. Versus trying to capture the footage for an entire game, from start to finish, and I don't really know if it will be as appealing to watch on here. I might do it for like one or two stages, just go back and get it, like repeat some stages just to show it. But as far as like just straight up enjoying the game, I kind of just want to do that on my own. Um, I told you about the hammer thing that I designed, right? Smash hit, at my job, and I was kind of like just getting into the Thor thing, and I was actually watching like God of War footage, on YouTube and stuff because it's like, man, I want to replay it just because I'm like really in the Thor hype right now. And we're playing Diablo 4, and one of my character's name is Krathor. Um, the people could read between the lines on that. But yeah, Tiny Thor, man. I recommend it. I actually do. Um, but as a show, um, was it too long for you? Did it drag? How did you feel about it?
Uh, it was so. Not only was I felt like it was kind of too long, by
Okay.
a little bit, but also like outside of Godbreakers, honestly, it was like the first game shown and the third game shown were the ones that really had my attention, and then it was just like 55 minutes to an hour of just I don't really care about this stuff. So I think that's what my bigger issue was. Cuz Godbreaker was like way far in, but like up until that point it was just trailer after trailer of like, okay. At least for me. Um so because it was like, only the first few games, it just that combined with being over an hour, I
Mm-hmm.
think is what did it. Where I was just like, meh.
The only thing about it for me is it made me come to the realization that I'm wish listing a lot of these titles, and a lot of them say they have demos, but I'm not utilizing them. And I think the demos will be a really great addition to the podcast in particular because it creates value for it because somebody can see something that, let's be honest, once the show is over, majority of the stuff you saw, even if you liked it, you might not ever see it again because they don't really advertise, right? And everybody else is so focused on the highest rated titles. I mean, unless you're the Shinobi game or Hollow Knight, you're not gonna get recognition in that space, really. So maybe we could start showing off some of this stuff, especially stuff from the past too. It's like, oh, whoa, that's a cool game. What is that? I was like, oh, this is a game that came out 20 years ago. Go find it, right? But yeah, show for me, I say a 6 out of 10. I got
That's
a
fair.
I got a good amount of stuff there. I really do still appreciate what Justin is doing, because I expect to see him in a lot more shows, and at the same time, um, I don't mind seeing more shows, but I will like to say 60 minutes should be the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Um, and then not only that, I think there are some other shows where 45 minutes is really the sweet spot for them. But 45 minutes to 60 minutes, and then like every month or at the very least every 3 weeks, something like that. And I don't mind. That's chef's kiss. But we can move forward finally, I guess. What's going on with the Masquerade Bloodlines 2? You got an
All right.
update on this? You want to talk about this game?
Yeah. So you know how they decided to only put 4 classes in the base game and then lock 2 more behind
Mm.
day one DLC. Well,
Day
everybody got
one
mad.
DLC is crazy.
Yep. Everyone got mad. To the point where some people were just canceling any sort of pre-order that they
Mm.
had. So now, amid backlash to that, the creators, so Paradox, it says it's making adjustments ahead of launch. So they didn't exactly say what that was yet, but it's
Okay.
supposed to launch in October, and they're already now deciding they're gonna have to change some stuff. So some people are thinking they're gonna actually just put the 2 classes in the game instead. But then the new issue becomes if they do that, then now what's the difference between the base game and their little Ultimate Edition? If
Mm.
the Ultimate Edition is supposed to come with DLC, but now the DLC is just gonna be put in the game because people are mad.
So
Oh,
it was basically damage control is what they were doing.
yeah. So we don't know what exactly the plan is yet for the rethinking of strategy, but until they announce something, people are really upset already still that the fact that they have pre-planned day one DLC locking 2 classes. Because now everyone is realizing that's not DLC, that's just cut material.
Right. Did they say what the price was for that?
I think the game is 60 and then the DLC is $30.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
people were that's another reason why they were mad. Because the DLC was
That's a
half the
lot,
price
yeah.
of the game and it's for content that everyone feels like should have just been part of the game to begin with.
Now, what about like story content? Is it just classes or is story content with that DLC?
I believe it's the 2 classes, but like you would have to restart the game for those classes anyway, so it's considered story content,
Okay.
right? Because you can't just like switch classes midway.
Mm.
Let me look it up and see what else comes with.
Yeah, because $30 is a lot. Usually, when we see a $30 DLC, it's like the Elden Ring one, the Cyberpunk one, where it's like there's a bit of content here. You know, um,
Yeah,
if we're just talking classes of like what, that's kind of steep just for a different fighting style.
so
Um,
the
yeah.
DLC is let's see. Saw some. They did say it was like extra stuff. It's hard to dig through this thing because now everybody's just talking about the fact that they're restructuring, and we don't need
Hmm.
like 12 written articles to say that they're restructuring and just kind of saying the same thing over and over. Especially because uh, there's no more information there. Oh my. Okay.
Well,
Well,
while you're doing that, I do
here we
want
go.
to. Oh, you got it.
Deluxe Edition features a Santa Monica Memories cosmetic pack, which so cosmetic stuff. The Premium Edition comes with 2 playable clans.
Okay,
Uh, looks like that's it.
that's it.
Yep.
I think we also mentioned during the Gamescom coverage last week that there's still another vampire game that's out there, which
Yeah.
I believe it was Dawn the Daywalker or something like that.
One of the Bloodwalker, right?
Dawn of the Bloodwalker, yeah, and that one actually to me looked better.
Yeah, and that's
Um,
another thing that a lot of people were saying was that at this point I'll just wait for the other vampire game. So yeah, the base game, you got the base game, and then the deluxe edition comes with the Santa Monica Memories, like, which is just a sarcophagus, a neon collection, a stop sign, and a portrait, but it looks like it's all in game. And then if you get the premium edition, that
Mm-hmm.
comes with the other two classes, but that's it. So again,
Mm.
stuff that should have just been in the game.
Yeah.
No extra story stuff or anything like that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate too. Because I don't think that they can afford a loss on this. Like if people just like turn
Oh,
their back on it.
they definitely can't because it went through development hell and then it switched developers. So everybody knows that they're doing all this stuff to try and recuperate some money because they
Yeah.
put a lot of money into this. So they can't afford people just going, "Well, I'm not getting it now," which is how a lot of people are feeling. When I saw some of the gameplay, that's the issue. To me, the game looks fun,
Mm-hmm.
but it is messed up that they're just like cutting stuff. And apparently, for those that played the first one, out of the two classes that they're like making DLC, apparently one of them is like the more popular class, like the main one that a lot of people choose.
Mm.
So it's like it seems like they definitely knew what they were doing by trying to trap it behind DLC. But this is like I'm looking at this. This is the worst deluxe and premium thing I've seen in a long time.
They want that money.
Yep.
The money is so important. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. So
Um.
the portrait stuff. Apparently, you can get a haven in the game, and it's just decor for the haven. So they give you 4 things to decorate your house with, or you get the premium edition, which unlocks 2 other straight up clans with some outfits.
All right. Let's go ahead and move to the middle of the show part where we talk about Epic Games. I think I just want to do that early, real quick. Um, so Epic Games is one of our unofficial sponsors. We like to highlight them because they give out free titles to everyone. And a lot of times it's actually 2 games a week, right? And it might not be stuff that everybody wants, but free is free, like I've mentioned so many times before. And then not only that, if you are someone who just does not have, a gaming PC yet or a handheld, you can still create a profile and claim everything. So once you get one of the two, you can go back and log in, and then you have all these different games to download and try, right? So the first one is Machinarium. That one is available from now until September 4th. The other one is Makeway, also from now to September 4th. I don't know too much about them. You just got to go out there and try them out for yourself. And then Monument Valley will be available from September 4th to September 11th. And then also the Battle of Polytopia, also available from September 4th to September 11th. That was an interesting name. I'm like, what is this about? Because it makes me think of like a certain type of relationship. But
Okay.
check it out if for yourself. Um, if you feel so inclined to do so. Was there any update or anything on like Amazon Gaming or anything you wanted to
Nope.
mention there?
They're wrapping up their August month, so some new stuff should be announced for next week. Um, but I will say, Amazon is holding some sales on a lot of games. So I actually picked up Sonic X Shadow Generations. That was on sale for $30.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's 30
A
right now,
few weeks.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Shout
they
out
have a
to
few
that.
other games as well on sale.
I don't know if I mentioned it last week. The only title that I remember getting, which was a nice sale, was the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero game because I caught it for $20 as a physical edition.
Dog,
Um,
that ran out so fast.
it ran
Like it
out
was up,
fast.
and when I like went to go look, it was back to normal price and pretty much sold out. Like I think the one that was having the sale was sold out, so it was just other retailers. Like everyone bought that quickly.
Yeah, I bought it. I plan to go into the online shop and get the DLC and use a gift card for it. I believe the DLC is a $30 DLC, which comes with everything so far. They haven't added anything else to it yet. But yeah, I do want to shout out. We talked about Shinobi. We'll see some more of that next week, I guess. The Sonic game Sonic Crossroads came out.
Yeah.
I've seen people playing it. I don't have footage of that, but I do still have actually footage of the other Sonic game that's later on in this. I don't think we're going to get to it until probably next week. And I do want to shout out the Metal Gear Solid game, which actually has some mixed reviews because I think it wasn't optimized good on a few different platforms. But at the very least, it did come out. So if you're a fan, you could probably grab it and wait on it like Cyberpunk for a little while until it's ready. But I do think that's a game that maybe you should wait until like the deep holiday season to try to get them, enough time to fix and stabilize it and everything. Have you heard about that? Like the
No, I
Metal
didn't hear
Gear?
it was messed up, but I also
Yeah,
didn't look into it. So
yeah. It ain't too terrible. Like I know I just mentioned Cyberpunk. It's not on anywhere near the level where Cyberpunk was at the time, but it does have like issues where it's running at lower frame rates, lower resolutions. I think, and one of those platforms it was like as low as 720p at some point. And so once they work out the kinks, I'm pretty sure it'll be good to go. Similar to the Star Wars games. You're very familiar with those, the
yeah,
ones that were Star Wars, the Jedi Fallen Order and
Fallen
stuff.
Order and yep,
Like everybody was saying, it ran really bad at first, but then like
yeah,
maybe 4 or 5 months later, it was actually back up to speed. I think
yep.
this is going to be one of those games, unfortunately. So
That's
for the
sad.
people, you just have to, wait on it. I do think this might actually be a sleeper hit on Black Friday, because usually when a game comes out around this time and it didn't do so good, it drops price really fast around that time. So
Hmm.
um, yeah, I think that's all I got as far as gaming news and sales. And then now we can probably get into the information that's on screen. But actually, real quick, we could add this to gaming news and sales. Like, what do you want to say about Mortal Kombat? Mortal Kombat 2?
Yeah, so that game or that the movie Mortal Kombat 2 was supposed to come out October 24th, and it
Mm-hmm.
got pushed to 2026 along with everything else that got pushed to 2026. So
Hmm.
apparently it sounds like they're going to be doing a bunch of reshoots, which
Okay.
I don't know if that's good for a movie. If like a month before it's about to release, it's all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we got to reshoot everything.
Are they getting
So
are they getting rid of the dude that everybody hated from the other movie?
I think he's in there, but he's not the star. The
Okay.
movie's about Johnny Cage. Like they're making this one, Johnny Cage is the focus. And he's played by Carl Urban from several things.
Cause he was
I don't
supposed
think.
to be, but everybody hated him. If I remember correctly,
Mm,
um, the actual Mortal Kombat game series was set to make him a DLC character, and
I would
didn't
have used
do
him,
it. They just didn't do it last minute, and then just said, "Oh, this is complete now."
which is crazy because honestly, I feel like from the way they gave him his abilities, he
Hmm.
would make a very interesting like fighting game character. Because if you notice, he got stronger when he took a beating. So I think the idea would have so been the lower health he has, the harder he hits, making him a glass cannon. So it's like you want to get to the point where he has low health, then you could probably take the person out in a couple hits. But if you get hit, you're out. Like it's like his whole thing is getting like I feel like it would have been an interesting glass cannon concept, but unfortunately nobody liked his movie character. But yeah, it's supposed to be Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, even though I still think it should have been The Miz, but whatever. Um, but
Johnny
yeah,
Cage? No, no,
yeah, absolutely, hundred
absolutely
percent.
not.
People were posting the like little fan art
If
photos, and it looked like the Miz. It looked great, and they went with
I
Carl Urban
mean,
instead.
if you want this to sell, then no,
It should have been the Miz. No,
no.
I agree. I think it should have
Or
been the Miz. But nope, it's gonna be releasing next year, so I guess we'll see how that goes.
I would like for them to not make it cheesy, like
Oh, it's gonna be cheesy.
because that's like to me the cheesy content just insults my intelligence at this point. Like I don't want to have nothing to do with it at this point. But anyways, shout out to the game Power Rangers Super Legends. That is on the screen right now. I think this might be like one of the cutscenes. I do want to say the cutscenes are voice acted. And it's a nice solid story for what it is. I've always noticed that when it comes to Power Rangers, a lot of their storylines are always centered around some sort of time travel. It's like that's the only way they can really like justify what they're doing. It's just like it's got to be some form of time travel to get everybody together, I guess. But
Probably, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Last bit of news is really going to be centered around the Power Rangers. I just wanted to go over a few things that I found as far as buying those really expensive Megazords, and then some cool stuff about Power Rangers. Like one thing I can mention real quick is shout out to Fortnite for spreading the most awareness for Power Rangers currently. I've been seeing a lot of little clips. There's been people who've been doing a lot of little remixes to the themes and stuff. Some people, there was like one rock band on one of them that I thought was pretty cool. Um, of the original Power Ranger theme, while showing like their Fortnite footage or whatever. Um, Power Rangers doing a lot of those little goofy dances do look a little weird, but I'm here for it if it's going to spread more awareness and get people in it, because apparently those skins are a smash hit on Fortnite as it is.
Yeah.
Um, Also, which I think you may have mentioned earlier, there's some like 2B style movie thing going on.
Yeah, so
uh,
there's the Ninja Kids thing, which has been a
yeah.
YouTube thing. Which is what I think is cool is the outfits were made by that artist, the one that I'm always sending artwork to you to, Toku J.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to him on IG if you like haven't checked him out. He like redesigns a lot of the suits, and he has his own lore going on between suit designs. So like he redesigned the in space suits, like so they still look like Power Ranger suits and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but like upgraded the details so they're like all 2020 like effort, and like for example in space they looked more like astronaut suits, or um how like the Lightspeed rescue suits he designed them in a way that it looks like they were like man-made,
Mm-hmm.
and they look more like first responder-ish kind of uniforms where they carry all of their weapons because a first responder would carry all of their equipment or things like that. So he's been redesigning the suits. The turbo ones look almost like they're metal, like almost Iron Man like, but it looks like they're kind of made out of car parts to a
Mm-hmm.
degree. Like all of it just looks great, and he was in conjunction, so he helped design the suits for this to be like movie for Power Rangers. So they're based off of his redesign for Mighty Morphin.
I know they went with a different approach to Rita Repulsa. Almost everybody else is a little bit more, classic themed, but Rita is not. I would have wanted her to be the same, but I guess they were going with like the look that they gave Rita in some of the more modern takes, like the 2017 movie. Um, but the one part that really made it look a little jank for me was when they showed the shot of them, like I guess in that room where they're supposed to be like mimicking being in the Megazord cockpit, or not the Megazord, but like their individual Zord cockpit. And
Okay.
it's like it's clearly they all in the same room. It's like you just shoot one person and then you change the color of the light, it just looked like really cheap. I would have thought that they would have did better if they made that a green screen thing,
Mm,
because whenever they did it before, when they were inside of their Megazords, like in their individual Zords, I should say, like their shoulders was like shoulder to shoulder with the actual metal itself, and they was like really really condensed in there in like this little box almost. And I thought it might have been better if they had did that with a green screen and just designed a little box or whatever instead of just doing it the other way, because they really look like they're in this like church podium or something, and then they just put like the little neon light that changed color and you bring the next one in. That was my only gripe from what I was seeing. Other than that, well, that and Rita really. But I'll watch it whenever it comes out. I don't at this point. Maybe you have to give me more detail, because all I know is just I've seen some screenshots and stuff, but I don't know exactly where it's going to be to watch it officially.
I think YouTube.
Um, just YouTube. Yeah, because they just said it's a web series. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
think they do stuff on YouTube.
well, of course it was going to be Mighty Morphin, but I would like to see something like this not just be a flash in the pan, but like flesh it out. Like, what do these guys got to do? Like flesh it out, tell a real story, do some MCU type stuff, man. Make it all interconnect somehow. Especially since like every gaming and every little thing that has to do with like the Power Rangers, you do some sort of time travel anyway. Like, if you're gonna do something like that, like make the stories connect little by little. That's the only thing I would say. But I guess you gotta take what you can get when it comes to Power Rangers nowadays. But at least there's a healthy amount of content out there, right? Because if we just step back and look at it, it's like, okay, they got the figures and they got their latest Megazord, and then you got this little series thing, and it's like, okay, if it catches on, then you'll see more money be put behind it, and you'll see some real AAA stuff being developed for it. So I guess
Which
it's
I
just
believe something's working out. So right now, like I said, Disney rebought the rights back.
mm,
So something should be coming out eventually. I'm hoping this will lead to more things, and I'm interested to see what Disney does. I really kind of hope they don't just do here's Mighty Morphin again, and do something
uh,
else. Even if they make their own like completely or something, but we'll see.
shout out to Disney. I plan to actually go to Disneyland in about 2 weeks, so I'll let y'all know how that went. Maybe if they bought some stuff, maybe I can get some souvenir stuff. I know one thing. There's a special Comic Con that happens in California, once a year. I think it's the San
It's
Diego
a, it's a special Comic Con. It's the Comic Con, dude. San Diego Comic Con.
I think I might line things up one day and head out there during it.
Good
Um
luck.
and see what I can do, because there is actually, like, how the Power Ranger stuff, like what I'm going to get into in a second, like the figures and everything, they usually have them there first and then they mass produce it. But like, if anybody wants to see the newest stuff, everything where you just seen a picture online, they'll have it there. And then not only that, like some of the actual actors and stuff will be there, other people, and it's not just Power Rangers, it's a whole bunch of stuff. I would like to go and take some money with me and come back with some cool stuff. Um, but
You also
yeah,
know though, it's not just like a stroll in event, right? Like,
mm,
buy a ticket in advance and
yeah, I will plan it.
spread out.
I
Yeah,
will
it's
plan
gonna
it.
be lines, so
I,
be ready for
I'll
lines.
Nah, I ain't gonna have no lines. I'm gonna plan it. I'm gonna get some. If I'm gonna go and do any of that, it's gonna be some VIP stuff. Ain't no way I'm gonna go
Oh
fly
no,
over
that's
there.
cute, but like you're still gonna have to wait in a line. Like even
Well,
the
no, I'm gonna
VIP
get the
says there's a
VIP
line.
passes. I'm
There
gonna get the
is
VIP.
there's no such thing as just a VIP and cutting in front for like meeting people. Like there's lines for everything
Oh,
in that thing.
listen,
This is
I,
good
w-
luck.
I the money's gonna talk when I go to one of these things.
You say that. Like, okay,
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
say it
You go ahead and think that.
absolutely.
That's cool.
the money gonna talk. I might even be able to do like a vlog or something of it if I actually do it. Um, but the other thing I wanted to mention, like I said, they have like a lot of figures and stuff there. Before the internet sees it. Well, at least with the stuff that we've been talking about in the past month, um, I did some digging and some research over the actual Megazords that cost a lot of money, what the process is. So if you are somebody out there looking to get a $400 Megazord, you are better off going with a website that is American operated and paying the little bit extra. Because if you go with one of the other websites, then you're going to end up, waiting the longest and paying the most. Actually, from what I can see. Well, actually, no, you won't wait as long, but you'll end up paying the most. You'll pay the most for shipping and everything. Um, and so some of the stuff that I looked into, the Dino Megazord, which their name for it is like Kara Karu, basically, Megazord. So I had the bootleg. I spoke on the bootleg a few weeks ago. If you wanted to go get the real, the official one, um, I would suggest going under the website Big Bad Toy Store. They have it for $435.99. You need to have a deposit. If you're pre-ordering, so it's up for pre-order. The deposit has to be at least $87.20. I don't know where they got that number from, but be aware they're saying that's non-refundable. So just keep that in mind. The figure itself, the Megazord that combines from 5 into 1, that will be available, or it's going to ship out May 2026. So you're gonna have some time to wait. This is one of the biggest gripes I've had, is how they'll have these things out there and then they'll tell you to wait on it. Well, that's May 2026. If you are not trying to get priority mail, flat shipping is $4 apparently from this website, and it's 6 to 8 business days that you have to wait for it after they say it's shipped. Tax is somewhat, it varies, but you're still looking at roughly around $30 in tax. For me, it said it was $26.40. Adding that on, it came out to be $466.39 at the end of checkout, tax and everything. So expected to be somewhere in that ballpark. If you are choosing to do priority mail, then it's going to be an additional $11, plus $2.50 per pound. So whatever that is, basically, because I ain't do the math on that. So you're looking at additional, like, I don't think this is more than 2 pounds from what I saw on the thing. So an additional $15-16 on top of everything. So this is a $500 figure for you, basically. And you'll get it sometime in May, or probably by the end of May, by the way they're going. But that's Big Bad Toy Store. Now, unfortunately, they only have the regular Megazord listed. Obviously, anybody who's going into this at this stage in the game, they want that and Dragon Zord. Dragon Zord, for whatever reason, is not listed under the Big Bad Toy Store. My guess is because they didn't get their shipment first. Usually once they get their shipment, then they put it out there and then they only charge you the $4, right? But if you want to go to a store that is advertising pre-orders for it, you will go to a store. The best one that I saw was called D4 Toys. 4 as in the letter, the number 4. So D as in dog, the number 4, and then toys.com. They actually have the Dragon Zord listed on the Karukara Dragon Zord that goes along with this set. Um, they are asking for $389.70 for it as a pre-order. Now here's the bad part about it. So this one is coming from Hong Kong, I believe, and they are asking for a shipment. Your shipping price is $127 even, to get this shipped to us from
That's a lot.
Hong Kong apparently, which I think includes, I would imagine, the tariffs and all everything else that they can make an excuse for. But yeah, that brings that particular Zord back to 500 basically, in that 500 range. And so between the Dino and between the Dragon Zord, you are easily coming out of $1,000. Just so you're aware, to get both. If you're someone who already got one, the regular one, then it's an additional 500 for Dragon Zord. I do want to mention. So how did I get mine for so cheap? I went to the website Tommy Park Store. That's Tommy Park Store. I think before I was saying Tommy Store, is actually Tommy Park Store. Not related to the former actor named Tommy. They actually do a lot of different figures from a lot of different franchises. Most of their figures are actually under the Transformer franchise, but they have the bootleg version of the Dino Megazord, and I gotta tell you, that thing is 1-to-1 with the $400 one. You really are better off getting the $130 model. But technically, as of right now, there is no bootleg version of the Dragon Zord. And I don't expect that to come out for a while. If, I really am feeling inclined at the time, I might get it. But I honestly don't like it as much as the regular 5. I don't see myself putting it all together. It looked like a mess to me, to be honest with you. Now, when it's Dragon Zord as Dragon Megazord, that looks fine. It's the Ultra Zord part that I think just looks like a crazy mess. But that's the main thing that I want to say about those particular Zords. Did you know that the Dino Megazord version of this actually had a black and gold version? Did you know that?
Yes.
It came out at some point and it's been sold out, but that one was $520, $519.99.
Because I also remember the first one being an NFT, and then they eventually tried to do.
Oh yeah, the NFT one I did with the Zap Megazord, that was actually through Hasbro. Originally, that was the one I was trying to get, and I was like, "Where's the price tag?"
Yeah.
And they was just like, "It's an NFT." And then I remember it was so funny because me and so many other people was realizing in real time, and was just roasting them in the comment section, like back to back. I was like, "What are you doing? Like, make a real one. We want a real one. Don't nobody want no picture. I already downloaded the pictures.
Yeah.
Like, make the real one." But they didn't do it, and then they just came out with the regular version of the real one, and I got that one. That's all, yeah. But yeah, NFT was that one. The black and gold version of this anime style one came out at some point. That was $520. I don't think they've done it anymore. But I do want to switch gears to the last part of this, and then we can stop. The Thunder Zord. That thing has my attention, to be honest with you. We've only seen a screenshot or two of it, but I would imagine that one is also going to be in the $400 to $500 range. What I've noticed is that there are 2 websites that is already listing a pre-order for it with no real price yet. They're just asking for like $5 as a deposit. So one of them, which I will probably recommend the most, It's called Gundam or Gundam It. Pardon my French. Gundam It, basically. It's a website that actually does more Gundam figures, obviously. GUNDAMIT.com. Well, they've listed this as, or under the name Sentinel Flame Toys Power Rangers Thunder's Megazord. And right now they only have pictures of the prototype that's like all gray. I didn't do a pre-order or anything yet. I want to see the official release. And then maybe I might pre-order depending on what they're talking about when it comes to shipping. But Gundam It has it for a $5 deposit as of right now. And they claim that shipment coming from them will be $2.25. They didn't put per pound or anything like that. They just said $2.25. If it's per pound, then maybe you're talking about $7 at most. I don't think this thing is going to weigh more than 3 pounds. None of the other ones weigh more than 3 pounds. But yeah, they have it there. The other website that has it is called Bumbusbee. BOMBUSBEE. Bumbusbee.com. They also have this set up where you can pre-order for $5. However, that website does not have a price listed for shipment. They have shipment may vary on their site, and they're saying that after it ships, expect for it to come in 15 to 25 days. That's what they're saying. But that's the main things I just wanted to mention for anybody out there who has their eyes on any of these expensive Zords. I'm gonna be honest, I really have my eye on the Thunder Megazord, really. Not so much that Dragon Zord. No shade. No shade. But if I'm gonna put $500 towards something or $400 towards something, I want it to be the mainline ones. I don't want it to be the Dragon Zord that I don't think looks right when they combine together. But yes. That's what you can do. Now, I do expect that there might be some more bootlegs heading towards Tommy's store and a couple other places at some point, but I expect you to wait. You're not going to see that for like 3 to 4 years, so it's really going to be up to you whether you really want to do that. With the Dino Megazord, I kind of like forgot about it and it just sort of like popped back up. When I look at the cost versus the time, I'm not really too much concerned with it when it comes to Thunderzord, because I kind of want it more right away. But unfortunately, when we're looking at like the other Megazords, the official releases, when they're saying May 2026, I can imagine that when they finally introduce Thunderzord, that release date is probably pushing 2027. Let's just be honest. And so if that's the case, then the bootleg of it is like 3 years later, right? It's like, I don't want to wait that long. That's crazy. And I think that's really unacceptable overall when we're talking about people providing products. It's like, why can't you get a product out into the store? There's no chip in it. Remember how they was making excuses for a lot of stuff because of the chip?
Shortage.
Yeah, what chip shortage is in this thing? Like, really? Like, just get it done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this should not be a thing. But that's it. That's all I got to say. I think this is the last boss fight in the game itself on screen. I still recommend people go back, find the game, and play it. Play the PS2 version. But yeah, man, that's it. Anything else, man? Are you gonna buy one of these things? You gonna plan for it?
But I'm not. But what I did get, I forgot to mention, was the Ninja Megazord Funko.
The Ninja Megazord Funko. I've seen. I was watching some YouTube videos of like the Zords. At one point, they came out with mini versions of them. All of them would be like action figure size, even though they separated and everything. And they wanted like $100 each for each one. And it was kind of annoying me because I'm just like, okay, how many times we gonna come out with stuff, and then we're just not gonna make it available for the people, not in person, right? It's not gonna be in the store, and then it's out of sight, out of mind. So a lot of people not really gonna be checking for it. But then when if somebody was to come across it, it's like you want $100 for each one. Like these things, like some of the Flames toy versions of them are really flashy, but like that thing that they got in Walmart, like why is that $120 once you put it all together? You got to literally put it all together, and then it's $120 something dollars. It's like, come on, man. It's like for what? For what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you know there was like a 2.5 foot Dino Megazord that came through a subscription, a magazine subscription, where if you subscribed to the magazine, they would give you pieces of it over time, and you had to build it. And then once you've
That's
built it,
interesting.
it was just a giant version of it. It looks really good, but it's like, if I'm not mistaken, I think somebody said it's like $2,500 altogether to do that whole thing.
Ooh, never mind.
But yeah, you have this thing that can like terrorize your cat or dog or something because it was so big. Like make these things available. That's I feel like that should go without saying. Um, but you know, it's a double-edged sword because they do have those new flip heads in the store right now, right? And those Megazords in pieces right now, only 3 out of the 5 I've seen in the store. I haven't seen the rest of them, and what's crazy
Yeah,
about
I've
it
heard
is,
everyone complaining that they can't get Mastodon or Pterodactyl.
yeah, it's those two that's not out there. And I'm like, why are y'all doing it in waves like that? Can you imagine you only got 3 of them in the store, and you that person who bought those 3, and you're out of like $70-$80 plus tax, right, altogether, and you can't even combine it yet.
Yep.
And then it's not even guaranteed that the other two gonna be in your store.
Because
And
isn't
then you're
if I remember correctly, Mastodon is the base of the
yeah,
Zord. Like that's the whole.
that's
That's
the
the body
arms. Yeah.
and everything, and the arms. Like you can't connect the 2 legs to
Yeah,
anything. You
and
can't
the
connect the head to
Megazord
anything.
is naked without its chest piece, and the chest piece is the pterodactyl. So without the chest piece makes the Zord, obviously. The chest, the shoulders, and then the head itself. And yeah, you wouldn't have that. Well, you might have the head, but anyways, boss fight is over on the screen. That's pretty much it. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Have a happy Labor Day. Enjoy gaming. We will catch you the next time. Peace.